Hey everybody, I'm Cass with College of Lore.
I am the Penitent with College of Lore.
We're here to tell you guys which cantrips suck and which cantrips suck less.
So,
This is our ranked video. We're ranking every cantrip. We're gonna rank every spell by level at some point, and someday we're gonna rank all of them together. But you guys have to get us to a big subscriber number for that.
yeah, wish us luck.
Yeah, that video is gonna take hours. Maybe days. It's gonna be a long one. But for now, we're just gonna tell you all the cantrips.
Yeah, so this is going to be kind of a long one because there are 50 all told.
Yeah. The races one might end up longer, I don't know. This
Um,
is all the 5e cantrips. Some of them are Unearthed Arcana, some of them are D&D Beyond, etc., etc.
Yes, so this is not just the base ones, these are everything. Basically.
All the cantrips, all 50 of them, which apparently is how many there are. I hope there aren't any more as of saying this, because that would make me feel really bad.
Well,
Embarrassing. If we messed up, let us know in the comments. Or don't. Let us know something else in the comments.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell.
Like and subscribe.
Like this video because we want to keep the lights on here.
Yeah. We love you guys and we want to keep making more content for you.
Also, do check us out on Patreon, which is in the description.
We have a Patreon. Give us money.
We
can buy food that way.
You can vote on what we're trying to rank.
Yeah, if you get in the Discord that we have.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is every cantrip. All 50 of them that exist. This is subjective, it's not combat ranking, and it's also not ranked based on who can and can't use them.
Yeah, so Eldritch Blast is Warlock exclusive, but it's not...
It's a good fucking cantrip. So, it stays high on the list somewhere.
Yeah, some people have previously expressed not loving where we've ranked certain things. Nothing is bad.
Nothing is bad. Well,
okay.
Some of these are bad.
I actually really like 48 on this list. It just doesn't serve much of a practical purpose.
That's fair.
For example?
Yeah. Some of these are cool in theory, but, like, they don't have a ton of application, and that's why they're low on the list.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost every cantrip can do something. Every cantrip can do something, it's just a matter of how well it does it and how frequently you can use that thing that it does.
Yeah.
So none of these are totally terrible and useless, it's just a matter of finding ways to apply them. We did write this list. Sometimes we make changes to things in the middle. Hopefully we won't do that here. If we do that, sorry. So we're gonna just launch into this one.
Yeah.
We're gonna go. So 50, bottom of the list, is True Strike.
Yeah, so True Strike is a one-action cantrip that gives you advantage on your next attack.
Yeah, which is bad because it takes an action. If it were a bonus action, this would be a great spell. Like, actually, this would be a really good spell if it were a bonus action.
But it's an action.
But it's not a bonus action.
So
it's bad.
It's concentration and an action.
It's bad.
Yeah.
There were great ways to do this spell in theory. It would probably be really close to the top of the list if it were normal, but it's not.
Yeah, not to mention, two of the classes that learn this are Sorcerer and Wizard, so, like, spell attacks, I guess, but...
Yeah. And I know we're not ranking it based on, like, how many classes learn them, but it's still kind of useless for that.
Like, I could see the point for a Warlock.
Yeah.
Because Warlocks can learn it, but...
Warlocks can get, like, Hexblade shit, too,
yes.
So that's helpful, in theory. But it still costs an action. It makes you wait until next turn to use it.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty...
There are better ways to get advantage than that.
Yeah.
At that point, like, why even use it? Just get, like, Bardic Inspiration or something and go.
Someone pointed out, just play a class that has extra attack.
Yeah, like, why do you even need to do this?
Alright, 49.
49 is Control Flames.
Yeah, so this is does what it says in the tin.
Yeah, but it doesn't let you make any.
No,
which is why it's bad.
It only controls non-magical fire.
Yeah.
And it has a 5-foot cube of it at the time.
It's bad. There were a lot of ways to make this good. It isn't those ways.
Cool thing, you can cast it up to 3 times at the same time.
Yeah, so now you can have 3 5-foot cubes of controlling non-magical fire that you can't make any fire with. Cool!
But, like...
it's bad.
Some people hate Prestidigitation or Druidcraft for the reason that it doesn't really do anything that powerful that.
Yeah.
Interesting. This is just a significantly worse version of that because you need fire and a lot of it to...
Yeah, to do anything.
Yes. Also, notably, it cannot do any damage with that fire.
Which makes no sense. 48 is Decompose.
Yes, so I love the spell. I think it's a really neat concept.
Just grow some fungus out of those guys.
It is from Matt Mercer.
You love to see it. We like him here on College of Lore.
Yeah, basically you can rapidly decompose a body.
Which keeps it from being resurrected in some cases.
No.
No, it doesn't?
Nope.
Oh.
Applicable requirements for resurrection are unaffected by the decomposition.
Oh, well that's
Nope.
why it's bad. Okay.
Yep, it does not do... It is...
It's flavor only!
Yes.
You can make this body look messed up, but it doesn't do anything, actually.
We love roleplay here on this channel, but this is a strictly roleplay cantrip.
And why would you use it if it's that?
It's also, and we don't really talk about this much, but I think it's interesting that it's only learnable by clerics.
Yeah, it's kinda dark.
I don't know why druids can't.
Yeah, it's kinda dark, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, 47. Gust.
Oh, hey. Handshake this and Pokemon. They both have something called Gust.
Yeah. It's a low-level move.
So, you have a potential to push something 5 feet away.
Which is not very helpful.
Push an object 10 feet away.
Ooh, an object.
Or you can make the leaves rustle, wind slam shutters, or clothing ripple in the breeze.
Man, it's crazy how you can do all of that with basically anything else, including
Yes.
your hands. If you want to push someone 5 feet, you can. You can do that. Well, sort of. You can come close enough.
It's control flame but wind, basically, is what Gust is.
Ghost. That's not correct. Gust. I don't want to make a wind noise in the microphone because I feel like it would be really annoying. So I'm gonna make ghost noises instead because that's close enough. Ooh, wind. 46 is Mold Earth, which we used this spell once in a game. And it was actually really cool when I used it. But I would never do it again.
So, this runs into the 5-foot cube issue again.
Yeah. It's not enough space. Like, rip dirt up or whatever.
It is basically... It's control flame but earth.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
You can spell out words in it, which I think is kind of funny.
Yeah. This is what you use. If you are stranded on a desert island, you need to write one of those help me messages, except it's going to be really tiny because it fits in a 5-foot cube.
Yeah.
Help, but more like, help. Like that.
Alright.
Number 45 is Encode Thoughts.
So, Encode Thoughts is...
That's Unearthed Arcana, right? Is it?
Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica.
Oh. I don't know what that qualifies as.
So, basically,
That's other stuff.
You take an idea or thought from your brain,
From your brain.
and you put it into, like, this ribbon thing.
Mm-hmm.
You can give to other people to share your thought with them.
Which seems cool in theory, but why do that when you could just use message? Or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Why would you ever use this?
it's needlessly complex is what it is
Yeah.
to me, Encode Thoughts.
Why not just give them a thought?
The one thing I like about it is it does last 8 hours.
That's cool.
That is kind of the saving grace for Encode Thoughts.
Yeah.
But still, they're much better cantrips to get this same kind of effect through.
Yep. Number 44, Blade Ward.
So, and again, as we said, no cantrips are really super bad except for True Strike, so...
Except for True Strike. True Strike sucks. Boo, True Strike.
Basically, it's an action that gives you resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Yep. Which
Like-
is vaguely fine. Again, if it were a bonus action, that would be, like, insane.
So, here's my question. Would you rather do this or take the dodge action?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's really...
Like, that's the issue of Blade Ward to me.
Yeah.
There are some builds where you would rather do that and take the dodge action, but not a lot of them.
Who even uses the dodge action?
People who don't want to die.
People who are good at this game. Not me. I'm bad at this game. Number 43 is Resistance. I actually like this cantrip.
Yeah.
But it's not as good as it could be. It's what? It's add stuff to saving throws?
You add a d4 to a saving throw.
Yeah, which isn't terrible for a cantrip.
It's not, but it is a full action.
Yeah.
And it's concentration.
Yeah. So it's not super helpful in that regard.
It'd be more useful if it were a reaction.
Yeah, I think if it were a reaction, that would be really good.
You have to touch a creature. It is...
Oh, it's touch,
yes,
too.
it's touch range.
Yeah, I wish this were better in a lot of ways.
So basically the idea is it's touch range. The target can roll a d4 and add that number to one of its saving throws within the next minute, as long as you hold concentration. You've also used your action and had to touch them.
See, it's actually probably much better out of combat.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
it's not good in combat.
A lot of saving throws you make are sprung on you.
Yeah. Unless you're, like, actively trying to, like, resist the effects of, like, a longer-term spell, it's not as useful.
You know, if someone...
I can think of, like, one application for it off the total top of my head.
Mine is Flesh to Stone.
Oh, that's a good one. I was thinking of Feeble Mind, actually, because it's so hard to pass that save. Again, that's really high level. You probably have a better thing to add at high levels.
Yeah.
But, like, it would work for that. I guess you could probably stack stuff, too.
Yes, you could.
So, that's how you pass your Feeble Mind save. That spell is crazy. I love Feeble Mind.
It will be ranked eventually.
It will, eventually. It's probably going to be very close to the top of that list.
Yes.
42 is Green Flame Blade, which sounds way cooler than it is. Whoosh! My blade erupts with green fire. How many spellcasters do you know who use swords?
You need to use a sword, is the first part.
It is a sword. Yep.
Notably, artificers and warlocks can learn it.
Yeah, but artificers mostly use maces.
Yes. It doesn't actually have to be a sword, interestingly.
Oh, okay. You said it did.
I misspoke. It's a weapon attack.
Okay, a weapon. That's bad.
And then green flame leaps from the target to a different creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet.
Yep.
The second creature takes fire damage equal to your spellcasting ability modifier.
Which is, like, fine if that's all you've got. But if you're a warlock and you have this ability, why not just use Eldritch Blast?
Yeah, like...
it's bad.
The fact that it also cannot hit the
initial
same creature.
Right, yeah.
Yes, it has to be a different creature.
Which kind of takes the bite out of it.
Especially if you're facing off against a boss.
Yeah. 41.
I love the spell's name, though.
Yeah, it's a cool name. It's very descriptive of exactly what it does. 41 is Shocking Grasp.
So, Shocking Grasp is...
also sounds really cool in theory, but it's not as cool as it should be.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where you make a melee spell attack as part of the action.
Yeah.
Or make an attack as part of the action.
Smack.
You have advantage on the attack if the target is wearing armor made of metal.
Which is kind of cool.
It is a touch range 1d8 lightning.
Which is not... it depends entirely on your vibe.
Yes, you have to hit, obviously.
Yep.
The cool thing is they can't take reactions until their next turn if you hit them with it, but like...
you have to hit them and it's a headache.
Touch range for 1d8 of lightning.
Yeah. Touch range spells are generally hard to pull off if you're like a wizard or whatever.
This is something that I could actually see being really useful for a class that I don't think gets it.
Yeah.
Oh no, they do. Arcane Trickster Rogue.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, and we've done that before.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a character that actually, I think she gets it automatically as part of
her race.
From her race, yeah, which is a homebrew thing. 40 is Dancing Lights. I actually have used this cantrip to great effect before, but it's very limited in how its effect can work.
Kind of limited scope. You make these 4 little lights that you can kind of control.
Like, you can use them to lure someone somewhere or do some kind of magical effect. It's basically a trick of the light.
Yes.
Which is cool in very specific circumstances, but that's all it does.
They can also serve as tiny flashlights if you need them to.
Which is cool. 39 is... oh, did you have something else to
say?
No,
just there's not a lot more to say about that. Yeah. It's some 4 little lights you can make and move
some
around.
Little glowy guys. 39 is Druidcraft.
Yeah. So this
What's up with that?
Only by druids, obviously.
Yep. Which doesn't super matter, but also it does.
So you can do little, tiny... It's kind of like Prestidigitation, but nature.
Yeah.
You can make, like, a little, like, mushroom or flower. You can make a flower blossom. You can make a cloud in the air.
It's mostly flavor.
Yeah, the faint odor of, like, perfumes or a skunk.
Yeah. Yucky.
You can also, interestingly, light a small campfire.
Huh.
Or snuff out a small campfire.
That's kind of cool. But there are other spells that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
However, this spell does other stuff, so that makes it better.
Hey, if you use Druidcraft and Control Flame, you have spent 2 actions.
Yep, to do that. 38 is Booming Blade.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that suffers from kind of a similar thing to Green Flame Blade. Is that the same?
So,
I don't know.
Make a melee attack, which isn't ideal for spellcasters generally. You hit with normal effectiveness, and then you get to push them back 5 feet if they... if it hits.
Yeah.
Or, sorry. This is me trying to read on the fly. You have to make a melee attack against a creature within 5 feet of you.
Yep.
On a hit, the target suffers the weapon's attack as normal, and it becomes sheathed in booming energy until next turn. If the target moves 5 feet or more before then, the target will take 1d8 thunder and the spell ends. It lasts 1 round.
Cool. If they don't move, though,
then it does
fizzles. Nothing.
If you miss, it fizzles. If they don't move, it fizzles.
Yeah.
And you can't force them to move. They have to willingly move.
Yeah.
I've used this on a character before, and it never came up.
Yeah. 37 is Magic Stone. Ooh.
Although, as we are getting higher in the list, I will say it is useful in the idea that you're trying to prevent escape.
Yes.
Hey, this spell's a bonus action.
Hey, finally.
You touch 1 to 3 pebbles, and I think that phrase is really funny.
1 to 3 pebbles. Yeah, I don't know why that's funny to me, but it is. I like it. Just a bunch of little rocks.
So basically, it makes a rock magic.
Okay.
I think effectively a magic weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Your modifier to hit adds your spellcasting modifier, you or anyone else who throws it.
Okay.
And on a hit, the target takes bludgeoning damage equal to 1d6 plus your spell attack plus your spell ability modifier.
Which is kind of cool, I guess. It's fine.
Hit or miss, the spell ends on the stone after you throw it.
Yeah. Number...
It's pebbles.
It's little guys.
Like...
little rocks.
It's not that useful.
It's not that cool. There are other cool things you can do. 36 is Friends. Yay, yeah. Friends!
So, this one, I like it a lot better in theory than I like it in practice.
Yeah.
It only lasts a minute. It gives you advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature that is already hostile to you.
Mm.
And when the spell ends, the creature realizes that you use your magic to influence its mood and immediately becomes hostile to you.
Which makes no sense. Why would you do that?
Unless you're trying to get one very specific thing, it works in edge cases.
Yeah. But it only works then.
Yes, it's really bad. It's kind of like the thing with knock, where it makes a loud alarm when you try to open the door.
Which it shouldn't, and it makes no sense.
It's one of the things that kind of defeats the purpose of it.
Yeah.
So I don't like it, and I wrote this list weeks ago. I might have actually lowered Friends thinking about it more, but you live and let live.
It's fine. 35 is Sapping Sting.
Yeah.
Slurping noises into the microphone.
Slurping Sting, I guess.
I'm so sorry, everybody. It could have been worse. I could have made a longer one.
So,
a lot.
Target within 30 feet of you makes a Constitution save or takes 1d4 necrotic damage and falls prone.
Yeah.
It's 1d4.
And it's a save.
It's 1d4. It's a con save, which a lot of creatures are really good at.
Yep.
And falling prone is only half your movement to get up from.
Yeah.
So,
it's not that good.
No, it's not.
34 is on-off, which is, tech UA
tech,
spell.
Unearthed Arcana. Also, sorry for blazing through these. We're trying to not make this take an hour.
Yeah, I don't want this to end up like the modules one or the races one where it takes, forever to get through all of them. So, the modules one was 2 hours long. Go watch it if you haven't, but also it's 2 hours long.
So, it's
we should have split that one up.
Yes. On-off is really simple. You can activate or deactivate any electronic device within 60 feet of you.
You're just kind of fine.
Yeah,
But it's only useful in a game where you're using tech spells.
Yes, and also, notably, any device that requires, a software or a passcode or any sort of thing other than flipping a switch, turn it on or off, cannot be activated with on-off.
So why would you use it when you could just touch the switch yourself and turn it on? It's bad.
I find this useful in a situation where you are like me and you accidentally leave the lights on and you need to turn them off to go to bed.
Yeah.
But that's about all I've got.
33 is Word of Radiance.
Yeah. Word of Radiance.
Word of Radiance. What does this little guy do?
Each creature that can see you within range must succeed on a con save or take 1d6 radiant.
Okay.
The
That's
range
not
is
terrible.
5 feet.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That makes more sense as to why it's bad.
Yeah.
I feel like there's not a ton to say about that. The range sucks, otherwise it'd be really cool.
Yeah, better range, and yeah.
32 is Hand of Radiance. Whoa.
So I have news for you.
Is it the same thing?
Yes, it's the exact
Same
same
spell.
spell.
Awesome.
Word for word, except in the text it says, you utter a word. This one
Mhm.
says, you raise your hand.
Oh.
It's the same thing.
Why does it
1d6
exist
radiant,
twice?
5 feet. I don't know, it's a UA spell.
Okay. You love to see it. 31 is Infestation.
Yeah.
Hey, that's also a Pokemon move. Guys, wait until we drop our Pokemon channel that we're gonna make eventually.
I
someday.
can't wait for the Gen 9 Fire-type move, Green Flame Blade.
Yeah. I hope so, man. I hope so.
So basically, target needs to succeed on a con save or take 1d6 poison and move 5 feet in a random direction.
That seems so risky. Eek. Eek, a bunch of
notably,
bugs.
this does not produce opportunity attacks either.
Yeah, well that's bad.
So, like, it's a d6 of poison damage, which is actually not the greatest
Yeah, poison damage, there are a lot of better ones than that.
Yeah.
There's a surprising amount of stuff that's just immune to poison damage.
And also, it's a con save.
Yeah, which is not good. Speaking of poison damage, 30 is Poison Spray.
Hey, it's poison damage.
It's poison damage. Poison Spray actually does a lot of damage, it's just poison damage.
So it's 1d12, but it's poison.
Which is bad. A lot of it.
Yes.
Poison damage has got to be the thing that most things are just immune to.
It's save or nothing.
Yeah.
Con save. You know, it's not affected by you. They get to make a con save, or they take nothing.
Yep.
Which is what brings down. I do like 1d12 is huge.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's just there's a lot of barriers to actually pulling it off.
You know, we're in 30. We're in kind of the mid-tier cantrip area now. But it's still on the lower end of that mid-tier for me.
Yeah. 29 is Ray of Frost. Why are we putting a damaging cantrip this low? Because it's actually not that good.
Yeah, so...
Like, why use this when you could use any other range damaging cantrip?
It is a ranged spell attack.
It's
but
D8.
It's 1d8, it's cold damage.
Yep.
And it reduces speed by 10 feet.
Which is not the worst, but like,
Yeah, like, it's 1d8 cold.
Yeah.
And it's not that... I might be bitter from having had this on a character because I didn't want to take Firebolt.
That's fair.
During a Storm King's Thunder game.
Yeah, that would do it. That would mess you up, huh?
Yeah, but...
It's fine.
It's not my favorite.
28 is Mending.
That's a good thing. It's fine.
It's fine.
Is what it is.
Yeah. 28 is Mending.
So, I like it for a lot of flavor reasons.
Yeah.
You can repair a single break or tear on an object you touch.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's really good.
It's flavor.
Yeah, it's good for flavor, and it's good for fixing, like, a broken quest item.
Yeah.
But
that's such a specific application.
Yeah,
it can do a lot of stuff in theory, but in practice it's kind of limited in when you'll actually use it.
Yeah, it's just little corner cases.
Why is the next one so low? Why is Thaumaturgy 27? 27 is Thaumaturgy.
So,
I like Thaumaturgy.
I do too. I really like
I think it's such a fun little spell. I like doing things. However,
it's not all that useful.
I guess that's fair. I like it for flavor more than anything, I think.
do too. It doesn't do a whole lot. Like, the voice boom is kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's the only time I really use it for anything. It's good for intimidation factor if you use it that way.
It's just harmless little tricks, you know, thunder, or you can change your eye color for a minute, or you can slam a window open.
Whoosh.
That's
about it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something I was forgetting about the spell is that only clerics learn it. No, we're not ranking on that, but I think it's really interesting.
Tieflings get it naturally.
Yes.
Which is the other thing. 26 is Create Bonfire. Hey, if you use this and Control Flame, you've wasted a bunch of time, is what you've done. Anyway, Create Bonfire.
You create a bonfire when you do this.
Wow.
It's a 5-foot cube, which, hey. Control Flame.
Hey, that's fire.
So it actually does some damage.
Yeah, like Control Flame, inexplicably.
So it's a dex save or take 1d8 fire.
Mm-hmm.
And the creature also make a saving throw when it enters the bonfire's space or ends its turn on the bonfire space.
Cool.
Which Continues up for a minute, 1d8, especially if you can cast it in a doorway. The reason I like Create Bonfire is you can cast it in a doorway.
That makes sense.
And
just kind of chokehold people.
Yeah. You can make a chokehold and do a lot of damage. Especially at lower levels, especially against enemies with less health.
25 is light. This one's also vaguely useful, but it's kind of fun for flavor, mostly.
Midway point, you make a little light.
You make a little light.
So many things have dark vision.
Yeah.
Which effectively nullifies the use of this.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone who plays humans all the time.
Yeah. Still better ways to get around it.
I don't know about your games, but in my games, I so rarely do things that involve everything being dark.
Yeah. It's surprising how little it comes up in our games.
Yes.
If it comes up in your games, this might be more useful to you.
And we play Curse of Strahd frequently.
Yeah, and like it's useful if you're doing dungeon crawls, but we don't do a ton of dungeons.
Yes.
So that's probably why it's lower on the list for us. 24 is Thunderclap. No, don't do that in the microphone, that's gonna be loud. Boom. Anyway, Thunderclap, 24, let's go.
Thunderclap, you make a burst of thunder that can be heard 100 feet away. Each creature within 5 feet of you must make a con save or take 1d6 thunder damage.
What's the range on that?
5 feet.
Yep.
I like it because of how loud it can be heard away from them.
Yeah.
Because it can effectively be used as a beacon.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of not the intention of the spell, but I really like how it can be used
cool.
as a beacon. I've used it that way before, and it's neat.
Yeah. 23. Frostbite. Ooh, ouch. Chomping noises. Frostbite is... ouch. Ooh,
target makes a con save, which again is not great, but...
Yep. Could be worse.
The effect is 1d6 cold, which is good. Disadvantage on the next weapon attack it makes before the next turn.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, the fact that you basically numb their hands out.
Yeah.
I love the disadvantage aspect of this.
Yeah.
That's why it's
I think it's
higher.
cool. I think it should be all their attacks. That would make it really good.
Yeah.
On their next turn. 22 is Acid Splash. I like this one as well, but again, it's kind of a weird damage type.
Yeah, so it's
It's a D10?
a D6.
Oh. I don't know why I thought it was a D10.
Dex
I'm thinking
save
of how good Poison Spray is.
Versus D6, it can hit 2 creatures if they're within 5 feet of each other, though.
That's cool.
Not a lot to say about this one. It's acid damage, which is not commonly resisted, but also not commonly a weakness.
Yeah.
I like using this on trolls.
Yeah, that's useful. That's a good point. Yeah, 21 is Produce Flame.
So I've used this.
If you use this in Control Flame, we're gonna make that joke every time. I think that's the last time we can make the joke. It's fine.
Yes.
I'm not sad about it. But yeah, Produce Flame, 21.
So, you make a flame bear in your hand. It creates the effect of light spell.
Which is kind of cool. Flavor. For a fire caster.
But the big thing is, you can use it cast in your hand, you can use it as an attack.
That's cool.
It does 1d8 fire, and it can hit out to 30 feet.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Which is like, the fact that this isn't touched despite it appearing in your hand. I like Produce Flame.
I like Produce
Flame. I think it's a neat little thing.
Neat.
I think it's outclassed for fire damage spells by Firebolt, but I like Produce Flame.
20 is Sword Burst.
Yeah.
Phew.
Hey, we're in the top 20 now.
Hey, we're in the top 20 now. Hell yeah.
So all creatures within 5 feet of you, which is unfortunate, must succeed on a dex save or take 1d6 force as spectral blades shoot out around you.
Which is really cool, but like if it hurts your allies, it's bad.
Yeah, so again, top 20. It can do so much damage. It's so much crowd control. It's one of the only really good crowd control cantrips.
And if you're surrounded, it's good.
Yes.
But if you're surrounded by your friends,
yes,
it's less good. I need to spice up my cantrip lists sometime.
We do. I feel like we take the same things a lot. I feel
well,
like
that's because they're good.
Do, yeah.
They're good. They're good cantrips, that's why. 19 is Thorn Whip.
So, Thorn Whip does 1d6 piercing.
Alright.
But the big thing is it can pull a creature up to 10 feet closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
Which I really like. It's good at stopping up retreats. It's good at pulling them away from enemies.
Yeah.
From allies.
Mm-hmm.
It's good at isolating people.
Does that give you opportunity attacks?
I
feel like it would say it wouldn't.
Well, I don't know if getting pulled does.
That's fair.
If
it does, that's really cool.
Hey, rules lawyers out there, leave in the comments.
Leave in the comments whether that works. I want to know. I don't know anything. I'm a silly little guy.
But yeah, I like it. I like how it can get something closer to you. I like
Yeah.
spells that do that. There's another one on here coming up.
It can at very least pull something into range of another attack coming up, which is good. 18 is Lightning Lure.
It is the same thing.
Cool.
You pull them 10 feet towards you, and 1d8 lightning if it gets within 5 feet of you.
Which is a little better in some ways.
Yeah, I like it a little bit more, which is why it's slightly higher on the list.
Yep.
I like Lightning Lure. I think it's a really neat spell.
How do you say the name of 17?
Shillelagh.
Okay, 17 is Shillelagh. I look at that word and I'm like, this looks like a word I don't know how to say. I thought that was how, but I wasn't sure.
It is.
I only know how it's pronounced because you have said it to me before.
Yes. And I only know how it's pronounced because of wrestling.
What? What? Okay, I'm not gonna ask. I'm gonna ask you after this video. What?
If you know, you know. Finley.
I don't know what you're talking about at all.
You have to
This is a joke between you and, like, the 2 people who will ever watch this video.
Yeah. So you hold a wood club or quarterstaff with you. You can use your spellcasting ability instead of strength for an attack or damage roll with it. Weapon's damage becomes a d8, and it also becomes a magical weapon.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's not a ton to say about that. That's fine.
But I love anything that can make a magic weapon on the fly.
Yeah.
Especially at early levels.
16, Minor Illusion. I wish this one were cooler. It's up pretty high, but it's not as good as it could be. It's a pretty cool spell.
I like Minor Illusion. It is very minor, for obvious reasons.
Yep.
It's just a small sound or image.
Yep.
It can be up to a scream. It's good for distractions, it's good for little things, but it's really easy to find out that it is a...
Yeah. Especially with an image.
Yes.
It's really easy to tell.
Also notably, the illusion sort of fades if someone figures out what it is.
Yep. 15, Shape Water.
Yeah.
This is a spell. People get really creative with, like, water control spells, and they are wrong sometimes.
So, it's Control Flame for water. But the reason it's up so high above Mold Earth, above Gust, above Control Flame, is it can freeze water for an hour.
Yep. It's pretty cool.
Which might sound kind of lame. I promise you that it's not.
Yeah.
I
have seen people talk about using it to replicate objects.
Yes.
If you know what the shape of a key looks like exactly, I guess you could do that.
I have, especially with simpler locks.
Yeah.
The idea of basically flooding a key with water and then freezing the water.
Yeah. You can break locks that way. If you saw the key before well enough to replicate it, I would say you could do that too.
The ice thing makes it so useful.
Yeah. Some locks are not breakable that way.
Additionally, most of you are carrying water skins on you.
Yeah, which is helpful. 14, Spare the Dying. This is a useful spell.
Yep.
Guys, you're gonna need this at some point. We've used it a bunch of times.
It stabilizes a creature.
Yep.
It's really simple. It instantly stabilizes any creature.
Yeah, which is nice if you're not in a place to heal people.
Yes.
If you're out of healing spells.
At cantrip speed, it's...
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, you can do it repeatably.
Yeah. It's good. It's a saving grace if you're entirely out of healing magic, is what it is. If you won a battle but there's people down.
Or if a bunch of people are on 2 death saves and you just need to...
You need to fix it, yeah. 13 is Primal Savagery, which is also a spell I actually really like. I think it's super cool.
Yeah, so you basically get fangs or claws.
Chomp or scratch.
It does 1d10 acid damage.
Which is not.
You get these like poisonous, corrosive claws or teeth. For the duration of the attack.
Yeah.
I love the 1d10 acid damage.
I think it's cool. It's actually a pretty good spell. The only thing that vaguely holds it back is touch, but I know druids get it, and it's honestly one of their better offensive cantrips.
It is.
I've put it on druids before. It's a very good offensive cantrip. I only wish you could cast spells in wild shape at lower levels, because that would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be really useful.
But yeah, you can't do that. But it's still cool otherwise. 12 is Virtue.
Yeah.
I don't know what this one does.
So you touch a creature, it is the only healing cantrip. It is UA.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
It gains temporary hit points equal to its touch range. Temporary hit points equal to 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Okay.
Temporary hit points lost after 1 round.
Yeah.
But it is the only healing cantrip, and that's why I like
cool. 11. I love this spell. Chill Touch. I think it's so cool.
Yes.
The name doesn't make any sense, but I think it's so cool anyway.
It does...
It's a ranged necrotic spell.
1d8 necrotic damage, not cold.
And it's not touch, is it?
No, it's 120 feet, actually.
Inexplicable to me. Absolutely the least logical name in the world. I do love it, though. This is the opposite of Green Flame Blade. The name sounds... It sounds cool, but it's super inaccurate, but it's actually a pretty good spell.
It is 1d8 necrotic and cannot regain hit points till the start of your next turn.
Which is actually awesome. That's super cool, especially if you have enemies that are kind of that are capable of healing each other.
Also, if you hit...
Which a lot of our kind of bosses are.
If you hit an undead target, it has a disadvantage on attack rolls against you until the end of your next turn. I have used this in fights with Strahd before.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Strahd, who famously regains health and is undead, gets fucked up by this thing.
Yeah, it's a good spell for that. It's really good if you're playing a lot of undead, or if you're the kind of person who runs bosses with healing abilities.
I saw someone who, at one point in a Curse of Strahd campaign, just gave Arena Chill Touch, no other spells, just that one spell.
Good for her.
Yeah.
10 is Mind Sliver. I also think this one's cool.
We're in the top 10 now.
I like psychic spells. I like psychic stuff. I think they're neat.
So, Mind Sliver, which I've read as Mind Silver several times.
Yeah.
It's 1d6 psychic. And they subtract 1d4 from their next saving throw before the start of your next turn.
Not bad.
They do get a save to resist the psychic damage and the effect, but it's an intelligence save.
Yeah.
Which is way less notably powerful.
Mm-hmm. It's not bad. Number 9 is Prestidigitation, which I actually also really like this spell. I like all the spells in the higher tier.
Yeah. So, Prestidigitation lasts up to an hour.
Yep.
It's minor magical effect that lasts up to an hour.
Which is just good.
You can make a small campfire. It's Druidcraft, but it's better than Druidcraft in my mind.
You can make stuff with it, too.
Yes.
Can't you make, like, a little non-magical item?
Yeah, little illusory trinkets, little non-magical trinkets. I like it for both role-playing reasons and power
some
reasons.
utility, yeah.
It's the iconic factor.
It is, yeah. 8 is Vicious Mockery, which, cool, Bard cantrip.
Yeah, this is
Yay.
the Bard
This is the Bard cantrip. I think it's so funny if you have a player who's actually willing to, like, say the insults. I think it's so funny. You did that once and it was so funny.
Yeah.
I remember one of the times it was, I don't remember if they, like, passed us. It's a save, right? Is it a save, or what was it that it...
Wisdom save, yes.
Yeah. I remember you told us what the insult was. You told everybody what the insult was after they failed or passed the save, and it was so funny.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember if you have a player who is willing to come up with funny stuff like that, it can be absolutely hilarious to use.
So it does 1d4, which isn't ideal, but the big thing is it applies disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes.
Yeah.
Which is really big.
Yeah. It matters.
It's also the iconic factor.
Yep. 7 is Toll the Dead. This one's not in the Roll20 compendium, and I wish it were. I use entirely Roll20 for my sheets, and I wish it were in there, because I would add it to more characters if it was. I get lazy.
60 feet. Wisdom save. 1d8 necrotic. If the target has lost any health, it takes 1d12 instead.
That's pretty cool.
It is 1d12 necrotic damage at 60 feet.
Yep.
Which is...
not bad at all.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yep.
The restriction means that if you're a high dex character, you've rolled early in initiative. That's kind of unfortunate, but yeah.
6 is Sacred Flame. I like this one too.
Yeah.
It's one of those all or nothing cantrips, which I guess most of them are, but it's just you hit it or you don't.
It's dex save or 1d8 radiant. The big thing about this, the twist to it, is it gains no benefit from cover.
Yeah.
So it can phase through any form of cover, which is
cool.
One of the only spells that can do that, at least one of the cantrips.
5 is Firebolt. Hey. This is a good damaging spell.
I give Firebolt to almost everyone, honestly, at this point.
It's just the best damaging cantrip, except, like, other stuff that's more situational. And basically every spellcaster in the world gets it.
It's 1d10 fire damage.
It's good.
120 feet.
It's good.
And it ignites anything that isn't being worn or carried that is flammable.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's the basic one, but it's good.
Yeah.
4 is Eldritch Blast. Hey, that's it. That's the last damaging cantrip.
Yeah.
It's at 4. So what else is in here, you may be wondering? Well, you'll find out in a second.
So 140
Eldritch
feet,
Blast.
1d10 force. Force is just almost nothing resists force.
Yeah.
You know, it's higher than Firebolt because a lot of things resist fire. Almost nothing resists force.
Yeah.
It's
like the basic magic type of damage. It
also splits into separate beams at higher levels. We haven't talked about the higher level stuff a lot here. Most of it is increased damage. This is more beams off of the Eldritch Blast.
Which is nice. You can hit more stuff or the same stuff. Either way. 3 is Guidance. This is just a good cantrip, guys. It's just good. It's way better than Resistance.
So you touch a creature. Once before the spell ends, they can roll a d4 and add the number to one ability check of its choice.
Yep. If whatever ability checks you're making aren't time sensitive, that's great.
And it can roll the die after making the roll.
Yeah, which is even better.
Yeah, I love this.
It's
so
just
much.
a good spell. It's just so useful. You can use it all the time on so much stuff.
It's so good.
2 is Message.
So, Message. It's not telepathy.
No.
But it's close.
Yeah, it's as close as you're gonna get with a cantrip, for God's sake.
So you point at someone, you whisper a message to them, and they hear it. They can't reply to you, but it's 120 feet, basically instantaneous communication, and it only really screws you if you're in a place where whispering can easily be heard.
Yeah. If you're at, like, a crowded table or something, no one's gonna notice.
Yes.
And number 1, the best cantrip, Mage Hand! Hell yeah.
Of course it's Mage Hand.
Of course it's Mage Hand. It's the best cantrip. It's not a damaging cantrip, but it's so unbelievably useful in so many situations that you gotta have it.
There's a reason there's a rogue subclass built around this cantrip.
It's good.
5 classes plus Arcane Trickster can take this.
Yeah. It's utility, it's versatile, you can do a ton of stuff with it. It's just good.
It's a hand that can extend 30 feet from you, apply at least 10 pounds of pressure. It can't attack and it can't activate magic items, but that's the only restriction.
Yeah. Anything else you want to do with it can do.
And just, it's so useful to have around.
Yep.
I think it's the best cantrip. It's
the best cantrip. So yeah, that's our cantrips. What do you guys think of the list? Do you agree with us? Do you think there's stuff that should be way higher or way lower?
Yeah.
Tell us how you've used some of the worst cantrips on this list in your games to great effect, because I want to hear that.
People get contentious about this because everyone agrees True Strike is awful. If you like True Strike...
Why?
I don't believe you.
I don't buy it, dude.
Anyway, let us know in the comments if you disagree or if you have anything that you would rank lower, higher, anything we gave too much credit to or not enough credit to. Give us your stories about how you've used these.
Yeah.
Effectively or ineffectively.
Yeah. Tell us a story about how one of the high cantrips on this list was just so useless when you really wanted it to do something cool. Like we said, remember to like and subscribe. We love you guys. Yeah. I'm making heart hands, but you can't see me. But I love you.
Thank you for watching this video from College of Lore. Remember to like this video, subscribe to join the party, and have a fantastic adventure.